Good evening and thank you for joining us, Moses. We're just going to go ahead and get right into our top story here just as soon as Gerard gives us a quick update on the weather here, folks.
Certainly, let's have a look at that weather picture because today the wind chills basically moved from a -10 up to about a -6. Right now we're sitting at -2. The wind chill is back with us at a -7. And in Lloydminster in the Midwest region, we saw a high today of 0 just at about 2 o'clock. As we compare across the region, most of the cloud cover is building up in the Battlefords at this time, but not so much in Cold Lake and area. And even in our area, we expect those clouds to clear off later on. For Cold Lake and area, +1 at 1 o'clock, and for the Battlefords, a +1 at 2. That's the situation. We'll chat a bit more about it later on in the cast.
4 people are in custody after a gun battle in a residential Lloydminster neighborhood last night. At least 10 shots were exchanged in the 4700 block of 48th Street. It's the second drive-by shooting in the city in just 2 weeks. And as Lauren Pullen explains, neighbors are understandably shaken up.
Sounded like fireworks, and it just went pop, 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 and that was it.
Donna Jones has lived in this house for 12 years, but last night was like nothing she'd ever seen before. In the alley right behind her property, multiple gunshots fired. Police warned her family not to leave the house.
They said they were searching for somebody and just to stay in the house.
This is the back alley where the shooting occurred, and though multiple gunshots were fired, police say no one was injured in the incident. There was only damage to a vehicle. RCMP have confirmed this was a targeted attack and is drug-related.
Police say the victim is the same person shot at 2 weeks ago in a drive-by outside of the Tropical Inn. RCMP say this time the victim fired back.
The victim was arrested upon police arrival, as the victim is well known to police and is involved in the drug trade within Lloydminster.
RCMP also arrested 3 people at an area residence, but the initial suspect is still on the loose.
We are always concerned whenever there's an open-air shooting within the community. In this particular case, the public risk, fortunately nobody else was around at the time, and certainly the police don't want to see these events continue.
This small residential area is surrounded by parks and a local church, but neighbors say recently it's been anything but quiet.
Lately it's been a little iffy. Just seems like things have gone right down the drain.
Well, it had been nice and quiet, but then we got a couple of drug houses just about a block north of here, and this is getting just as bad as Edmonton.
This neighbor, fearing for her safety, didn't want to be shown on camera.
I was scared all night, actually, because I thought maybe they were in our yard or who knows, eh?
But Donna Jones says though the incident did shake her up, she's not planning on going anywhere.
It's a good neighborhood, and we have good neighbors, and stuff like this just happens.
Lauren Pullen, Newcap News.
Police are looking for a vehicle in relation to this shooting. If you've seen a white 2004 Chevrolet pickup with aftermarket rims, you're urged to contact the Lloydminster RCMP. Police say charges will likely be laid tomorrow as the investigation is ongoing. The 3rd year of Operation Christmas Driver is complete in the border city. The annual 8-week campaign aims to keep impaired drivers off the road. This year, a record level of enforcement created impressive results. 2,100 vehicles were stopped at 6 major check stops in the city. 58 impaired drivers were caught. 69 drivers received license suspensions. For the 3rd straight year, those numbers have gone up.
We had more man hours out there. We targeted different areas of the city where we've had problems over the year. We did the harsh media campaign. We did the increased patrols, the flashing red and blue lights, the marked cars in the bar districts, as well as the Christmas party areas.
Kadun says check stops not only help prevent people from drinking and driving, but also allowed police to get some feedback from the community.
They were warm, they thanked us for what we were doing, and that's appreciative. The ones who weren't breaking the law, they moved through the check stops very swiftly. The ones that we did have to deal with, we had to take our time with them.
Kadun says the majority of charges were laid against people in their low to mid-20s. Synergy Credit Union is expanding its services in Lloydminster. The company is planning a new office and wants you to help with its design. Preparation. Highway 16, bordering Highway 17. Before any plans are drawn up, The public is invited to share their ideas for the facility on January 18th from 7 until 9 p.m. at the Wayside Inn.
So we're not going to that meeting with some plans to share with people. We got some general ideas in mind. So if there's some things that we can hear back from the community that we can then incorporate into our building design, that's exactly what this evening is meant to be.
Nessner says the expansion is necessary because they've run out of space. The company is already renting offices at off-site locations.
We're looking at building a building there that will probably be a fair amount larger than this site, in that we'll probably go up somewhat higher so that it's more visible at that site, and we'll probably look to rent out some of the space.
No budget, no timetable, and no construction plans have been made. The company does intend to make the building environmentally friendly.